Welcome to Season 4 of the Join inCrowd Business Podcast, the podcast that shares the stories of local businesses around the world. This episode is brought to you by Join inCrowd Digital Contact Cards. Create your free digital contact card and start making new friends, staying connected, and growing your network. Now here's the host of the Join inCrowd Business Podcast, Joseph Haecker.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today on the Join inCrowd Business Podcast, and I'm here with Zilya in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Zilya, can you share a little bit about you and your company?
Yes, hello everyone. Joseph, thank you very much for having me on your podcast. I'm very excited and nervous at the same time. It's my very first podcast. So my name is Zilya Nova. I'm from Russia originally, and I've been living in Mexico for the last 8 years. So I started my own business over 4 years ago, and it's called Nova Design. So in the beginning, I was thinking about the name, what name to put to my business. I wanted it to reflect the art I do, and I also kind of wanted to use the name of my mother. And I ended up at the end calling it Nova Design, and Nova is the last 4 letters of my last name. So my full last name is Ahmed. And then in Spanish, people pronounce it as Ahmedia Nova. So I just left the last 4 letters of my last name to make it easier for people to remember my last name and to pronounce it also, because nobody can pronounce my full last. So and I called it Nova Design, kind of thinking that I might change something I do, because I do different kinds of art. So I started doing macrame, and it might be something else. So I wanted the name reflect the possibility to change the way of creating or change something. And it also was reflecting perfectly the home decor I started with. So it was perfect. And I think it suits very well still suits very well to what I do. So it's called Nova Design. And my mom's name is Nuria. In English or Spanish, we pronounce it as Nuria. And also I really wanted to use her name too in some way. I ended up calling my very first dress I made after my mother. And that dress became a bestseller of the pieces I do, and it was the very first dress, and I called it after my mother, and I loved it so much. It's so special. The design is very unique too, so I've never seen anything similar. So there are a lot of macrame brands out here in Mexico, and but I think what I do, and even my dresses, the dresses I make, they're very different from most of the dresses. And calling the very first dress Nuria also makes me feel special. I'm proud of it. And so that's my very first dress has a history.
Very cool, very cool. Now, how did you get started?
So I started at the pandemic. So I've been working as a freelance here in Mexico all the time. And I was doing 3, 4 jobs at the same time, always as a freelance. And when the pandemic started, so we all got locked, and I had a lot of time to do my art. And I have been always into art, and I've been always crafty with my hands. So I really wanted to do something with my hands. And when we had all the time in the world, so first we got locked in March 2020. So in April, I was finishing the oil painting a while ago. So I was very happy every day oil painting, and just waking up, having breakfast, and then doing whatever I like during the day. So it was so cool to have so much free time to finally do what I really like. And I also like before the pandemic started, I've been doing ceramics too, the pottery, and so just like making something that I like really warmed my heart. And at the same time, also like in the beginning of that year, I decided to buy myself a wall with a macrame technique. So I wanted one for myself, and I was going to buy it. But then, like when we all got locked and like people just like stayed home and like also like a lot of people stopped spending money, I thought like, oh, like I'm crafty with my arms. I might do it myself. So I got curious and I just YouTube tutorials for macrame. I learned how to do it myself. So I'm a self-taught completely. So I just went, bought course, and did my very first piece watching the YouTube tutorial. So it took me a while to make it because it was like very first piece and I didn't know how to make. So macrame is the art of making knots and how you combine them. So you can learn like basically two, three knots, combine them in many ways and create so many products, so many pieces, so much art. So where my imagination started working. So I learned like basic knots and I just started making wallpapers. So I made one and then in April. Then I did my second one in May and then the third one. And I made them all in different colors. So I also wanted like to explore the colors. Then like I already had three pieces that I don't need three pieces. And I still wanted to continue making more and explore. If I can sell them, um, I've been like pretty active on social media, on Instagram, so I knew how to sell it. I like it just like I knew I can sell it through Instagram, through stories, and I also like when I was showing it on stories, so people saw me making this, and I this is like how I started selling my pieces through my personal account. And then I knew, like, in order to make it as a business, to make a small business out of a hobby, it as a hobby, that it all progressed so fast, like within like 2 months. And also, like in the pandemic, at the lockdown, like the time flew differently. So we had like so much. So in 1 month, I did so much, like the painting, the macrame, like learned a new skill, finished the painting, like so much, a lot of reading, like everything I wanted to do. So I knew I needed to have a name for my brand. So this was my very first task. So to create a name that would reflect what I do. But also it was just like right at the beginning, I was not sure if it would be macrame all the time or something else. So I wanted to have a name that would reflect my personality too. And I'm very I'm into home decor as well. So this is like I started with the home decor and then I continued with accessories and later clothes,
Wow.
all made of course. So I guess I picked the name well.
Pretty
So yeah, and yes. So I called my brand, handmade brand. I called it Nova Design, and what I do is boho chic home clothes and accessories, all with the macrame technique.
wow. Wow. I love that. I love it. I love
Yeah.
I love how you made such good use of COVID.
Yes.
It, um, what is something unique about your business? What makes your business unique?
I think one of the things um, that are unique that I do is that I do both clothes with accessories. So there are a lot of macrame brands, like people that do similar things. That what describes me, like makes my business unique, is that I combine well, as I think, like creating home decor and accessories with clothes at the same time. It's all on one profile.
Hmm. Yeah.
And yes, also another thing, what I do is when I started doing accessories and clothes of macrame, I knew in order to sell those, I needed to show them on models. So what I started to do right away is photo shoot with my products on models to really show how they look, how you can wear my products, how to combine them with other clothes or accessories. So people can see them and picture themselves, wear it, and buy it. So also I think like using models and like doing a lot of photo shoots with models with my products describes my brand as a unique too. Another thing that is I show myself a lot in my posts and in my stories. Also, I model a lot of my designs, so I'm also like a model of my brand.
Hmm.
So you can see me in a lot of my posts and reels. And I also show a lot of myself in stories. So I show a lot how I work. I show all the process. So I do a lot of recording, showing people the face of Nova Design, so people know who they buy it from, so they know what Nova Design is about, and um, like they know the face of Nova Design, they know the heart of Nova Design, they know the arms of Nova Design, and they know the heart. So it's like all me, my heart, my hands, my face. So I think also it's important to show yourself so people know who they buy from, and show my history and yeah, and since I'm a self-taught, I think it's also interesting for people to see how you can learn a new skill yourself using YouTube and start something small and then grow it to something bigger. So I think it's very nice.
I love that you invite people in on the journey. I think that's what comes of showing those behind the scenes and inviting people in. There's so much clothing, so much design out there, so many home goods, but the fact that you're the person, that makes the difference. I love that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, quality is very important to me. So I'm a perfectionist. So I want my products to be perfect, and I think this is the feature that describes also Nova Design. That my products are very fine, elegant, very well made. I use good quality cord. All the cords I buy, all the cords are from Mexico. So I also like support local businesses here. So I think it's very important, and I think quality is one of the features that describes, and I really put all my heart to it.
Very cool. Well, yeah, I mean, it is unique. Fashion usually leads furniture.
Hmm.
So the fact that you're doing both is very interesting. Um, what are what is something that most people might not know about your business?
Okay,
This is always a fun one.
that's an interesting question, and I think like when you answer this question honestly, it's good to be honest. So I want to be honest with you, and I want to share something most people don't know. So I used to have, let's say this, delegation issues.
Okay.
So it was very, very hard for me to delegate the work to other people. And to be honest, so like my business, my brand is a little bit over 4 years. So the first 2 years, I did everything grow. Like in order to grow, I needed help. I needed assistance, people who can help me produce more products because you can do much with just two hands. You can do like with two hands just like the certain amount of pieces per week, per month. But in order to grow, you need to produce more. And since I was showing everything I do, how I work, I was so active on Instagram, and I got a lot of followers, organic followers, people who were contacting me from different countries also to buy from me. But I also like had people interested in buying quantities. Like I even had someone asking me if I can produce like 1,000 pieces, and I was like, I'm a small business. I can produce 1,000 pieces like in a small amount of time. And that person told me, okay, when you can contact me. That's interesting. So it really made me work that issue. And I think in order to grow with your business, you need to grow as a person. So I really hard to work my delegation issues and really trust someone do something. And since I'm a perfectionist, it was hard to let someone do something and they might do it different. They might do mistakes and also like accept it and be fine with it and just like let pieces not be as perfect as made by me. It all like it was very hard for me to be honest. And some people might think this is like easy or this is like stupid. That like for me it was a big problem to really start like getting help from someone and also like letting people know because I had that thing that I wanted to do everything myself because when I was selling my product and I wanted people know I made them with my like my own hands and when you sell like quantity more and more and more like you can produce like so much just like you need to have these things to work with and so now I know, yes. So I know the way out. I know the way to grow.
That's a highly relatable one, though. For a lot of people, it's hard to find people that do it the same way, or the standards, or so that is a very common business thing that would hold business up. So it's amazing and good job for you
Thank
that
you.
you were able to work through it and get
Yeah.
past that.
And also, what I did, I just trained, like I started training people and to teach them the way I wanted to be, like provided everything, all the materials, the measurements, the patterns. So meeting with them like twice or 3 times a week and spending like 3 hours together, like teaching them the way I want the product to be. And also I learned more lessons out of that experience because like I people that just wanted to learn to to do macrame with me. Like they didn't want to work for me and they just wanted to learn and exchange skill with the designer. So I learned a lot through that experience and also like how to really uh, see who can be useful to you and who can be loyal to you and who can stay with you. And when you find someone like that, so it's like it's so precious. It's so good to have someone who can help you and who's loyal to you. And I think like all companies, they have at least like one worker, like one employer like this, and it's like it's so good to have it. So yes,
Yeah. Well,
and it's about the experience. Yes, I'd like to share a couple of more things.
yeah.
So as I mentioned, like I got a lot of people interested in what I do in my product. People around Mexico, different shops. I also had a new, brand new brand. N- uh, how do you call it? Like completely new brand
Okay.
in LA, in California. And for their very first collection, they wanted to have handmade belts. So they made a big order for me to have my handmade belt for their first collection.
Wow.
So it was like also such an achievement for me. My handmade products are being sold around California, around the United States, and also like growing and like somebody like even like someone famous can wear my belt
Yeah.
and I don't know. And every time when I see someone wear my product, because it's more like you can like you don't visit other people's homes to see what they hand like how they decorate them. That when I like when you sell clothes and accessories, it's easy to run into someone or see someone wear something you produce. So every time I see it, it just makes me so happy to see somebody wear something I created, something I designed, and something that I made. Oh, yes, that's a very special LA brand. It's called Cinepesta. So even like seeing their website with my belt on it, like made my heart so warm and so fulfilled and so special. Yeah, so I do have clients around the world, and that's good. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another thing, another interesting thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And also photography is one of my passions. So I do all the photo shoots for Nova Design myself.
Oh, wow.
So all the photo shoots with models made by me, and I really enjoy doing the content for Nova Design. So all the content I do myself, all the photo shoots, videos, editing, posting. So I do a lot of jobs. So still, I know in order to grow more, I would need to delegate more of the things I do. So that's on the list. That what I really do enjoy is creating see the dedication, and you can see how much attention I put on the visual aspect of the Instagram of Nova Design.
You know, uh, I don't, I don't think that's a bad idea though, because oftentimes you'll have a product designed by somebody,
Mhm.
and then you'll have somebody else taking photos or creating the content, and that person doesn't necessarily know the details or what the
Yes,
designer had in mind.
yes,
So the fact that, do you imagine seeing, a world famous work of art, a Da Vinci, through the eyes of Da Vinci?
yes. I think
Like,
that would be more interesting to see. Also, I've had experience doing photo shoots with professional photographers. And to be honest, when we do it, I as I see it, they take of the product. And what I want to show my product, not like a pretty face of a model, but like more like do more artistic pictures or videos, something where you can really like see the design, where the design pops out, not the. Of course, all models are gorgeous and handsome and like pretty, but I think what I want to show is my product, and this is what makes my profile, Instagram profile, unique. That you can see my product on model, so you can like see yourself wear it. So I think it's good. So Noah design is like related to fashion a lot. Also, one of the with it to be able to show my designs, my accessories on the runway, and it's also a very special feeling. I like it. Actually, I have another fashion show this Saturday
oh
coming up.
wow,
Yes,
wow.
the third one.
I mean, I'm from the lighting and home goods accessories space as well. Former lighting designer. Um, and with that, I'll tell you, in the interior design space, fashion leads furniture. So what's coming out in fashion is way ahead of what you see in home goods. So the fact that you're able to merge that is pretty
Hmm.
unique.
Yes.
So you've shared a little some indication indicators. I think we all want to take a look at your Instagram. How can people find out more and follow along?
Okay. See my work on Instagram, and the Instagram is called Nova underscore design underscore handmade.
Well, this has been a blast. I think we learned so many cool little insider tips, and I really do appreciate the value of seeing it through the designer's eye. I think that is something, if you can juggle it all, I think keep that too. Like if you had to do two jobs, design and show us your designs through your eyes.
Yes. Thank you very much, Joseph. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, this was a blast.
Thank you for listening to another great episode of the Join inCrowd Business Podcast, the podcast that shares the stories of local and small businesses from around the world. This episode was brought to you by Join inCrowd Digital Contact Cards. Create your free digital contact card at joinincrowd.com and start making new friends, staying connected, and growing your network. If you liked this episode, hit the subscribe button to get the latest episodes delivered to you on Spotify. If you'd like to be a guest, visit us at joinincrowd.com/podcasts. Until next time, say hi to someone new. You never know where it will lead.